So, you've probably spent a night or two, or let's be honest, a whole weekend, binge watching something on Hulu. But have you ever stopped to think about how that service even exists? The story behind it, well, it's not some simple startup fairy tale. It's a really messy, fascinating saga about sworn enemies, high-stakes corporate chess, and a desperate fight to survive the internet revolution. It always kind of feels like there's a little bit of everything on there, right? And for a long time, that's exactly what it was. Which brings us to the big puzzle here. How in the world did TV's biggest rivals, companies that spent decades just duking it out for viewers, somehow come together to build a streaming giant from nothing? Let's get into it. But before we dive into all the corporate drama, let's talk about the name itself, because it's actually pretty cool. Hulu comes from two different Mandarin Chinese words. The first is hulu, which is a type of gourd that was traditionally hollowed out to hold precious things. And the other is hulu, which means interactive recording. So right from the start, the name itself was meant to symbolize a valuable container for entertainment, a pretty clever and symbolic beginning for what was about to unfold. To really understand this, we gotta set the stage. Let's rewind the clock back to the mid-2000s, a time that was basically the Wild West of online video. You have to remember what this era was like. Piracy was completely out of control. Your favorite TV shows were popping up on illegal download sites almost instantly. And at the same time, this chaotic new platform called YouTube was just exploding, and the TV networks had zero say in it. They were watching their audiences and their ad money just start to vanish. They were totally cornered, and they knew they had to do something drastic. So in a move that absolutely nobody saw coming, two bitter rivals, News Corporation, which owned Fox, and NBC Universal, they formed an alliance. The plan was both simple and honestly revolutionary. Create one single legal website where anybody could watch their hit shows for free as long as you watch some ads. Hulu launched in March of 2008, and it worked. It worked so well, in fact, that about a year later, a third major competitor, Disney's ABC, decided it couldn't afford to be left out in the cold and jumped in too. But here's the thing about an alliance of rivals. It's a fragile thing. Once Hulu proved it was a massive success, the inevitable happened. Its powerful parents all started pulling it in different directions. Every one of them wanted to shape it for their own benefit. So the first big pivot came in 2010. See, the free model was great for getting users in the door, but the real money was in subscriptions. So with the launch of Hulu Plus, everything changed. For about $10 a month, you suddenly got access to full seasons of shows, not just the last few episodes. And, this is key, you could watch it on your game console or your phone, breaking it free from the computer. This was the moment Hulu stopped being just a catch-up service and became a real, true competitor to Netflix. And by 2016, the situation had gotten even more complicated. Time Warner bought a little piece, which meant you now had four competing media giants all trying to steer a single ship, with Disney, Fox, and Comcast all holding equal 30% stakes. I mean, can you imagine those boardroom meetings? Every single decision about content or strategy or money became this massive tug of war. You could argue this stalemate held Hulu back from its full potential for years. And then, the earthquake hit, the one that changed everything. One of the owners decided it didn't just want a piece of the pie, it wanted the whole damn bakery. And things moved so fast. In March 2019, Disney finalized its huge acquisition of 21st Century Fox. With that one deal, Disney's 30% stake in Hulu instantly became a 60% controlling majority. The game was over, and the other partners knew it. Just a month later, AT&T was out. The month after that, Comcast gave up full control to Disney, agreeing to sell its share down the road. In just 3 months, Hulu went from being a joint venture to basically a Disney asset. Now that it had full control, Disney could finally give Hulu a clear, focused mission. Instead of competing with its own stuff, Hulu was positioned as the third pillar in Disney's streaming empire. So you had Disney Plus for the big, family-friendly blockbusters. You had ESPN Plus for all the sports. And Hulu? Hulu became the home for everything else, the more adult, the edgier, the general entertainment stuff from places like FX and Searchlight Pictures. Okay, so once Disney had the keys to the kingdom, the next logical step was to start knocking down the walls and pulling Hulu even deeper into its master plan. And this is Disney's three-step plan to fully merge the two services. It all started in late 2023 with that Hulu Hub inside the Disney Plus app, which was basically a test run. Next up, the Hulu brand is going to replace the Star brand they use overseas. And then the final step, kicking off in 2026, is to start phasing out the standalone Hulu app for good, creating one single unified Disney streaming app.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole new strategy. After the acquisition was done, the new corporate buzzword was synergy. Hulu wasn't some semi-independent experiment anymore. It was now a critical tool for making Disney Plus stronger, designed to give subscribers way more reasons to stay locked inside that Disney ecosystem.
So let's get to the important part. How does all this corporate history affect what you actually see and pay for when you just want to sit down and watch TV? Well, it all comes down to one thing: the bundle. Disney is incredibly aggressive about pushing these packages that combine all its services. You can get Hulu and Disney Plus together, with or without ads, or you can go for the whole trio with ESPN Plus. And the pricing, it is very intentionally designed to make bundling look like the most attractive option. The whole strategy is simple. Make the bundle an offer you pretty much can't refuse. If you were to subscribe to Disney Plus and Hulu without ads separately, it would cost you almost $32 a month. The bundle, it's just under $20. That huge discount makes the choice a complete no-brainer for most people, which in turn boosts subscriber numbers across all their platforms and makes every customer way more valuable to Disney. And is the strategy working? Well, the numbers don't lie. After this long, winding journey from a crazy experiment between rivals to a core Disney asset, Hulu now has over 64 million paid subscribers. It's become an absolute powerhouse in the streaming world. Which, of course, brings us to the final question. Hulu was born from this chaotic alliance, and it built its brand on being the place for more mature, complex TV that just didn't fit anywhere else. So, as it gets fully absorbed into the Disney Plus mothership, will it keep that distinct identity? Or will the holder of precious things just become another content tab inside the vast digital empire of the mouse? I guess only time will tell.